Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. We have the wonderful Larry Holder visiting us, and that's kind of a rare Canadian treat. We got 50% north of the American border representation with this stream, and we have, of course, the one and only John Lamont, and his campaign on Kickstarter is kicking ass. Shit, John, you're starting to outshine me. Look at this. We're closing in on $15,000 with Angel of Darkness. What is for?
No.
The
Dragon 4.
Whatever. All right, Spirit of the Dragon 4. The Spanky cover. Let's see.
Spanky cover.
Yeah, the Spanky cover. I feel like I influenced that one a little bit. Let's see.
No.
I stop. All right, where we go? Okay, here it is. So Spanky cover. I mean, 357 backers, 14.6, 5 days to go. And yeah, you said $15,000 is like, if you could bring that in, then like I think that was the reflection of profitability by which you would be more aggressive about publishing or something like that.
Yeah, I guess so.
Or not. I mean, maybe 15 grand doesn't mean anything. I don't know.
No, 15 grand. No.
I mean, who do I have to murder to get that kind of number?
What you need is a whiskey paint Spanky cover.
Uh-huh.
But
yeah.
You know, so some of y'all want to do your family friendly comics, and that's all fine and good, and there's nothing wrong with your family friendly comics.
Look,
but
even in the context of family, sometimes you have to spank the unruly children, as we're, there you go.
All right, Preston, would you sell that cover?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great cover.
You might end up on the list somewhere.
That is a great cover. Yeah.
And you're not John Lamont. You can't get away with that shit.
I could totally get away with that one. Yeah, that's a great image. I love that one. Anyway, but yeah,
we'll see. Yeah.
Closing in on 15 grand. So, all right. Does this mean you're going to be more aggressive about putting out comics, or nothing? Not much has really changed. Was it just like a mental line in the sand? Now that you crossed it, it doesn't even mean anything.
Well, okay. So, all right. So now I understand your question you were asking me. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's throwing me is the lackluster performance of Angel of Darkness.
Okay.
Because Angel of Darkness has gotten progressively. Let's see. Angel of Darkness 4 brought in 11.3. Angel of Darkness 3 brought in 12.1.
Right.
So I lost $1,000 and 10 backers between Angel of Darkness 3 and Angel of Darkness 4.
Okay.
And
why do you think that is? Was it all about the cover?
I don't. To be honest, I don't know, because so I ended 2022.
Yes.
With Spirit of the Dragon 2, 267 backers, brought in 14,400.
I mean, that's pretty good.
Yes.
Yes.
I started 2023.
Yes.
With 298 backers.
More backers.
Yes. But $2,000 less money.
Well, look, that just comes down to how hot the cover is. If you got more backers, then the question becomes, were we able to move them up the tier of value, And I pioneered this one, I offer a PDF of the comic, and it's a gorgeous comic, and that PDF is $5, and I feel like people should feel pretty good about that transaction. But hey, if you're in the United States, I'll ship it to you for free, and then you can get the physical comic for $10. That's not so bad, right? But you know what? For $15, that's only $5 more. You can get a limited edition sexy version. Woo! You move them up the chain. And sometimes, your artwork isn't able to do that, so you get more backers but less money.
Yes.
Yeah. So, anyway.
So, and that's kind of where 2023 was just a rather disappointing year for me for Kickstarters.
Yeah.
Because I expected to have had a campaign cross 15,000 already.
Yeah. Wow. Here you go. 2024. Better late than never, you know?
Yeah. So which kind of makes me unsure about Angel of Darkness 5.
Okay. I mean, why would you be unsure about that?
Well, just because Angel of
Yeah,
Darkness
just finish
hasn't
it
been
and then make
performing.
a trade, and you're going to do fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can offer the trade.
Yeah. Well, that's going to the issue 5 Kickstarter will be issue 5 and trade combined.
Okay.
So I am hoping that will bring.
Really?
That's what I did for Guinevere.
Like,
I mean, if you do them as two separate campaigns, I feel like the trade campaign is kind of eh. And really, how many of issue 5 do you want to print? By the time you get to issue 5, you want to print ideally like just enough that you're fulfilled all the orders for it, and then beyond that, look, I've been selling the White Lily trade for 2 or 3 years, and I got so many copies of White Lily 4. Well, why does anybody need to buy White Lily 4? Right? They can just buy the trade, and then there's the whole story, you know.
Yeah. Which is part of the reason why I'm combining them, because I'm going to print enough of issue 5 to fulfill my orders and have a couple extra in case an order gets lost in the mail or gets dropped in a puddle.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. I'll have 5 or 6 of 5 left over. I'll put them in a box in my storage unit, and they'll stay there for, maybe I'll sell them on eBay or whatever.
And that makes issue 5 like very collectible. Like, like essentially what you're gonna, even the main retail cover, you're gonna ship like 150 of. So it's pretty limited edition.
If that, I shipped 70 or 80 of Angel of Darkness 4.
Right.
So, I mean, like if I ship 70 or 80 of Angel of Darkness 5, it'll end up being like a 100-book print run, and that'll be it. What am I going to do with the extra ones?
Exactly. So there you go. What I do is I give away comics. I'm just like, here, enjoy White Lily 4.
I may do that if
because they just like they take up space,
They do, and I'll have to figure that out.
They take up space, and if you did a good job in making the book, then they're an excellent advertisement for your company and what you do.
I do like Marcelo's artwork, and people when I'm showing the book off at conventions, people like his artwork. So
there you go.
Yeah, I may end up doing that.
Guinevere and the Divinity Factory will be hitting your local comic store in May, and is going to be, I'm designing the ad right now to appear in the April issue of Previews. Nice. So Guinevere is about to go mainstream, I think, or at least big. I don't know, Larry. What do you think?
So what are you doing? You're re-releasing like the whole series? Like
all 5 issues, 5 issues, and then the trade. And the thing is, like, I printed out. I think I forget how many Guinevere trades I printed out like a couple of years ago. But I'm getting down on them. Like John's been selling a bunch, and
I've got a couple. So.
Yeah, you got some, So I'm about to have to. I don't have enough Guinevere trades to last me all year. Yeah. So isn't it great then that I'm going to be distributing through Diamond to sell, to basically recapture the formula of here's issue 1 with the variant covers, and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and just milk that as much as you can, and then boom, here's the trade. And now I'm combining the Diamond trade with the convention trade and getting a bigger print run, which I can offer to you good folks at wonderful prices.
That's good. Here's the thing. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
If fucking Niobe can sell in Diamond, then Guinevere should be able to sell.
Exactly. Yeah. And and I'm not working with Antarctic Press, which I did submit to, and Ben Dunn did tell me that Guinevere is a good book because it is. But
that's unfortunate for them. But whatever.
Yeah. That's all right. Success is in my hands now. and I'm going to take good care of it. All right, so we got Monopoly, or is it Monopoly? I wasn't sure which it was.
It's Monopoly.
Okay,
Monopoly.
Because Monopoly is like crazy kinky, but Monopoly is like,
no,
okay.
Unfortunately, it's not. This is not a sexy story. It's a gangster story.
Okay, fair enough.
So this is old work, but you guys had some great feedback on the first 10 pages, which I brought back to Elia. We're editing with that in mind, and certainly I've used it to find the characters as I wrap out the story. First draft is pretty much done as of today.
Right.
So I sent this, it must have been last week or whatever, just to see how things are actually moving with the story beats and my overall structure, because this gets us about halfway through the screenplay. And I'm really excited, as always, to hear the feedback.
Okay.
So,
what's going on?
Yeah. What do we need to know about Monopoly?
So, we're in a fairly violent gangster world. Like, I guess I imagine like gangster Minneapolis, and Elia imagines gangster New York. We're still working on that. There are two competing gangs. One of them has been taken over territory. The other is a little bit slower to move, but quite a lot more violent. And our boy Sonny comes back from a job that went terribly out of town. He needs money, and he is now stuck doing a job for the slow to move violent gang. So he's, as you can see at the top of the page, he's just sent on a mission. And now we have the subsequent scenes.
Okay. John, remind us the mission again. Is this like a violent mob hit?
Yeah.
There was just a violent mob hit. Gunfire destroyed Big Boss's restaurant, killed his driver. He's like, find out who did this and get me their head.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the mission. John's gonna narrate. Larry's gonna play Sonny. Preston's gonna play Jewel. I'll probably play some side characters, and we'll see how this turns out.
All right, go ahead.
Hey.
We're starting at scene 5. John.
All right.
Scene 5. Interior, Sonny's apartment, night. Jewel enters Sonny's apartment shortly after the shooting. Sonny unpacks, then steps behind the door to change into cleaner clothes.
Thanks for the ride. What bullshit. Not even unpacked and it's already balls to the wall. Time for it. It's time for sorry.
It's time you told me
what was really going on.
Very good. And I'm Jewel, or
yeah.
Okay. Must have started a couple of weeks ago. Moretti's guys have been muscling in on our side of town, pushing crank, down, oxys, you name it.
Jewel opens the fridge and pulls out a can of craft beer. Opens it.
There we go.
You better not just be opening one for yourself.
Jewel pulls another beer out of the fridge and places it on the counter.
Anyways, nobody really noticed, right? Till a couple of weeks ago, some of our guys see a few deals go down. A couple of clubs get more violent than usual. That some of that sort of thing. Don figures it's mostly kids being kids, and it's nothing to worry about.
Jewel takes a sip.
Then Frank decides to take out some aggression on little Al right outside Gino's place, and it's all caught on camera.
Sonny's finished changing. He steps out from behind the door and holds his hand out. Jewel lobs him his beer.
Little Al? Doesn't he have a new baby to take care of?
Sonny cracks his beer, drinks, goes back behind the door to pull out some more fresh clothes.
Exactly. Kid won't be able to work for at least a month. He got so roughed up. Anyway, Don took it hard, and I was there to see him get payback.
Jewel takes a moment as he remembers what happened with Frank. It still troubles him.
It was I didn't expect how it all went down.
Jewel gives himself another moment, drinks, exhales. Even without seeing his friend, Sonny notices there's something wrong.
Fuck. Was it that bad?
Look, Sonny, you walked into a turf war that's on the verge of turning hot. The Morettis are sending guys over here to get our boys on drugs, and Don's talking big about infrastructure. It's a mess.
Sonny pops out, throws Jewel his change of clothes. While Jewel steps behind the door to change, Sonny starts paging through the fresh stack of overdue bills that came for him while he was out. He slams them down on the kitchen counter, and 2 unwrapped pieces of folded paper slide out from the bottom. The first is an overdue rent notice from his landlord, which he sticks to the fridge with a magnet.
Shit, does this mean Becker might have done me a favor?
Becker only cares for number 1. Testing your loyalty keeps him clean.
Sonny opens the other letter, the letter from Raven, and starts reading it. A small black feather falls to the ground.
The fuck?
Huh?
This fucking letter. The map is changing, and someone who knows what there is to know is always valuable. We should talk. Come alone tomorrow. The Stray Cat. 3 p.m. Smokey.
The cat. That's still neutral ground.
But the invite came from Smokey. It's the what's the
Moretti's.
Moretti's. Yes, thank you. You just said it, but I forgot it. Yeah.
I'm Italian.
I mean, you can just read the letters in front of you. And
That's also possible.
It is possible, but the letters kind of jumble in my head. So yeah.
Yeah, it
All
looks
right.
like more titties to me.
Yeah.
They were the more titties.
It's the more titties.
And what the fuck is up with this fucking feather? Aldo got a pic from one on his phone last night.
If I ever do a gangster story, I'm going to call them the more titties.
Okay.
I think I want to change their name to the more titties now.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
I'm going with you. Aldo was just shot and nobody else should know you're back. Something stinks.
Whatever. I need to sleep. You're welcome to crash on the couch.
Interior, the Stray Cat day. Sonny and Jewel enter the Stray Cat, a past its prime jazz club that does excellent happy hour business with the working class neighborhoods it borders. Smokey, male, 40, scarred, waits for them, flanked by a few goons. In the background, the Raven turns from her drink to observe the proceedings when Smokey welcomes Sonny with open arms.
Sonny, long time no see, pal. How'd your holiday in Canada turn out?
Couldn't have been better, except I stayed longer. How'd you find out I was back?
Smokey taps his nose.
The walls have ears, my boy. Why wouldn't I keep track of a good friend like you? Remember that job we pulled at the Bear Arms Motel? 1 in a million.
Sonny remains nonplussed.
Was it? High school was a long time ago, Smoke.
Fair enough, but I know you're a good guy, and I know you'd like to keep your options open. You're here because there's an option for you.
An option for me, Moretti?
You know how it goes. Territories expanded, bullets flying. Sometimes operators like us need to pick a side, and it looks like Don's on the back foot. Join the winning team. More titties.
Yeah, I think I am.
Don's on the Don's on the back foot. If that were true, you'd have to be a true mastermind to think me taken out of the picture would make a dent in his plans. Oh my God, sorry, it's been a long day.
And doesn't end.
Yeah, you couldn't even pass the 9th grade math. Smoke. But surely someone spelled it out for you. Who was it?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Sonny pulls the feather from his inside jacket pocket to show it off.
When I came out, no, it's not.
When I came home last night, this was in my mailbox along with your letter. How the fuck can I trust your message from Moretti is real when it's obvious the Raven's involved?
Smokey backs up, hands up. His goons tense up. Jewel tenses up. A lot of ups.
That's a ton of ups.
Oops.
The Raven! Fuck's sake, Sonny. I don't fucking know. Let's just calm down and...
A black feather falls from the ceiling above Smokey's goon.
Oh, snap.
One sneezes, then instinctively reaches into his coat pocket for a handkerchief. In a simple, smooth motion, Jewel draws his gun, cocks it, and shoots the ceiling, smashing a light, then dashing behind an I-beam for cover.
Not a muscle, assholes.
It's too late. The thin crowd scatters. Sonny and Smokey both hit the deck and crawl to safety. Sonny to Jewel, Smokey to his goons. Bullets fly. Smokey and Sonny continue their conversation over the noise while moving from table to table, covering fire.
Fuck hell, Sonny. Why'd you have to ruin my night?
Would you take chances with the Raven? Plus, it's a Sunday night. You'll have the plaster fixed by Tuesday. Easy.
You gotta calm the hell down, Sonny, before someone gets hurt. It was just a business proposition. I'm playing the exclamation points. They're there. I'm playing them. Yeah.
Yeah. From someone who got too fed up, who got fed too much info about my business, Smoke. This reeks to high heaven.
Jewel reaches Sonny, then taps him on the shoulder and points to the exit. It's close. Sonny nods. They wait a beat, then Sonny heads towards the entrance while Jewel retreats, more calmly laying some covering fire. Sonny makes it to the door first, holding it open for Jewel, and then starts laying cover. 2 shots later, the click of the hammer tells him he's out of bullets.
Hurry up, Jewel. I can't do this all day.
Jewel rushes out the exit, firing blindly behind him. A stray bullet from one of the goons hits his right shoulder.
Oh, fiddlesticks.
There you go.
Sonny and Jewel escape.
Who's the goon?
I'll be the goon. They just got out the front, Smokey. You want we should chase them?
Hearing this, Smokey visibly relaxes.
No. If the Raven's moving, let them take the heat.
Interior, Sonny's apartment. Sonny helps the wounded Jewel into his apartment and gets him to the couch.
This isn't your first rodeo, Jewel. You'll be fine.
With Jewel on the couch, Sonny fetches a first aid kit from the sink and gets to work cleaning up Jewel's wound.
Ouch, damn it. Why couldn't we have gone to my place? I have to feed Margot.
Can't you just call your neighbor or something?
And miss the look on her face when she gets treats? I'd prefer not to.
Note to self. Jewel needs a girlfriend. Yeah.
You don't get it, man.
Never have.
Too busy looking out for number one to consider caring for anything else.
Sonny stops working, gives Jewel a death glare.
All right, too far. I know it's not like that.
Sonny gets back to mending the wound.
Damn right. Smokey and his guys were more tensed up. Smokey and his guys were tensed up. Looks like Don and Moretti really about to go to war. Okay.
Yeah, but Moretti wouldn't know subtle if it hit him over the head and someone knew you'd be back yesterday. Don's got a mole. There you go. Don has a mole. New information.
Damn.
Oh, like for information, not like.
Okay. I mean, maybe that too.
Yeah.
Possibly both.
Depends on who gets booked to play him, I suppose.
There we go. Hell no, just because you two don't get along doesn't mean he twisted up in anything. He's got his own weird sense of humor.
Honor.
That too.
Oh, that too, yes.
That too, yes.
Honor.
Okay. Honor. Honor, yes.
If you're right, the Raven is pulling the strings to make sure there's as much collateral damage as possible. If it were me, I'd get everybody wound up as tight as fucking possible before going for what I want.
Like convincing the Reddies there's good business on this side of town, then making sure our boys catch wind. That explains a lot.
Does it? No. Then whoever it is, the Raven's gonna be someone who knows all the key players. Maybe someone from the old guard.
If that's the case, Don might know someone we don't.
Okay, so we go visit Don tomorrow.
Let's go tonight. I heard he has a dinner plan with an old friend. Quote marks.
Ooh. You just want to go home tonight and play with your cat, don't you?
Jewel gives Sonny a look. He nailed it.
Okay, and that's it. Those are just some notes for myself.
Okay. All right. So we had some mob actions. We had, I want to say that was a mobster who really enjoyed his feline pet.
Mobster likes his pussy.
Yeah, mobster likes his
It's
pussy.
a cute running gag.
There we go. We had
Yeah,
some Jewel
yeah.
and the Jewel and Sonny kind of dominated this particular exchange. There was a lot of dialogue between them. It was very gangster, and certainly they were concerned about what the Morettis were about to do. So
Certainly.
I think these scenes were true to the gangster genre. It's certainly reminiscent of something like Goodfellas. So there you go.
Well, that was the note you gave me last time, Preston. So.
Well, it's still true, right?
The note was more like Goodfellas, so I seem to be on the right path here.
There we go.
Yeah.
I mean, look, it's not like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels in terms of.
If I knew how to write something like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, I would write the fuck out of that.
Yeah, no, these are clearly not British gangsters. These are like American Italian gangsters. So
yeah.
All right, go ahead, Larry.
Yeah, it's definitely got the gangster feel, which is what you want. So you're all on the right track. I don't know what else to add. Preston pretty much got it.
John.
All, so. Yeah.
It was interesting. They went places. Things happened.
All true.
All
right, constructors, go ahead, John. What you want to say?
I don't know. It seemed like a lot of sitting around and talking.
Yes, there was a lot of sitting around and talking,
and it just went on and on. And on,
it was dialogue heavy, and then the question becomes: I mean, you can't necessarily attack scenes for being dialogue heavy, particularly after Quentin Tarantino and the Royale with Cheese. But I felt like the dialogue was not Tarantino-esque.
I found the blocking during the shootout very, very confusing because I didn't know who was shooting at who.
Okay.
Except one guy got shot in the arm because they were shooting at the ceiling, and then that was it. And then they're hiding and they're shooting, and who are they shooting at, and who's shooting back at them, and that was entirely confusing. Like, was Smokey and Sonny shooting at each other, or were they shooting at the Raven? And where was the Raven this whole time? Besides dropping feathers on them, the whole scene was very, very confusing. Your one action scene, and I didn't know what was going on there. And even in your one action scene, they were still just sitting around and talking.
Yes.
That's. I mean, it's
yes.
a trope in the genre. So yeah, but so it's not really necessarily a bad thing per se for a gangster story to be about guys talking in a bar. So.
Look, The Sopranos, which was like 7 seasons. I mean, what do you mainly remember for Sopranos? This is the guy sitting around talking. So there's certainly in gangster pictures, just, the exploration of the group. I think that's what gangster movies primarily are, because you know, as we really explored in The Godfather, you know, like the loyalty to this organization gives these men purpose, and you know, we also see that in The Sopranos. But the question comes up: well, how should this criminal enterprise be organized, and what needs to get done? What dirty deeds need to be done onto who? And that's all discussed through dialogue. Here it felt rather low stakes. I mean, we could replace this dialogue with any dialogue. We could port this dialogue in from other movies, and I feel like these scenes would still be kind of the same. People sat around and talked. There was some stuff about an eagle.
There was an eagle?
Or maybe that was something else. Never mind, that was something else.
There was a raven.
There was a raven. Yeah, there's stuff about a raven.
Be careful, Preston. You're almost starting to sound like Moldy.
There we go.
Well, that's how memorable your raven was, that he mistook it for an eagle.
Yeah,
I'm behind that. But.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, this is not the first time I've ever seen Hollywood gangsters engaging in stuff. So it's in the Hollywood gangster genre. I don't know that Sonny and Jewel are more memorable than the cast of The Godfather, or more memorable than Goodfellas, or more memorable than Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, which makes me say, if I want to consume gangster fare, why am I reading this? So, Larry, or no, anybody else, or is that good? John? No?
I think that's good.
Danny, you want to come back on anything?
Danny? Yeah.
No, I'm good. Like, as I mentioned with the first 10 pages, like, this is not my baby. This is a project that came in on.
Yeah.
And obviously this draft is fairly first drafty.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw notes at the bottom of the end there. So like the struggle is like unpacking a whole bunch of gangster tropes that are in someone else's mind, then trying to turn them into a story instead of action figures.
Yeah.
And then also trying to keep, like, you know, or generate memorable scenes, if not memorable characters. So,
well, what's the conflict?
Sorry?
What's the conflict? Sonny
came from out of town. He's super broke. He needs to exchange some stolen items for money, and
none of that was in these pages.
Yes, I know that.
Right. So what's the conflict in these pages? Like, and how do they tie into Sonny trying to exchange the money? Like, I feel like all of that was like completely forgotten. I feel like we should focus on that. Like, if that's what the story is, that's what the story needs to be. Not sitting around in a bar talking.
Yeah.
Like, why are they not having this important conversation while Sonny is driving, trying to find a way to unload this money? Why does he even need to unload the money?
You were there for the first 10 pages. I mean, and
I'm pretty sure I asked the same question then too about the money, because I'm still confused as to why he's having trouble getting rid of it.
So the setup was there's only one fence left in town who doesn't like him, and dude's got to do a job for Dawn in order to get an okay price for this shit. So that, to a degree, was solved in exposition, although you're right that it should show up in the fucking dialogue. So, yeah. There was a lot of detangling and then figuring out what the actual story is that's been a part of the writing process for this. Thanks to you guys, it's like pretty on track, and it seems to be reasonably on the mark. So I'm taking what I can get here, because it's still much, much nicer than the original, which is a terrible way to sort of present that to you guys as well, right? Here's an original that you haven't seen that this is way better than, is like but
yeah,
it's in process, and the notes are really helping me like get there. So, or at least get to something that isn't just going to be a mess from the get-go. So either way, I'm quite happy with that.
Well, I'm hoping you're getting paid for this.
There you go.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Well,
it's about the
writers get paid
journey.
in the Arab chat GPT. Let's ask Moldy.
Anyway, so those pages were definitely not Danny's baby.
No.
But these pages are
Larry
my
baby.
goodness.
Moon baby.
Yeah.
Nice segue.
Yeah.
So we have a comic book script. This is clearly a comic book scripty, but page 1 is what is this? This is just okay. Prologue and
I just wrote a prologue so I could remember everything that happened in the last issue, so I wouldn't have to keep going back and forth.
All right. Who wants to read the prologue? Or Larry, why don't you present this prologue to us?
Okay.
I mean, this is your baby. The Moon Baby.
It is. Yes.
This is your prologue. You know better than anyone what happened last issue. Tell us all.
Yeah, because it's been like 10 years since you've been on the stream.
I remember.
I know. I don't even.
I remember there was a moon or something out around Saturn or some such. And
no, that was Uranus.
Jupiter, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
Uranus.
So the flying saucer, Godzilla.
Yeah.
And then there was a whole space station sequence that had nothing to do with any of that.
There was like a lot of tech support.
Yes.
I can't get the video.
Yeah, it's a proper
Right,
sci-fi project.
Yeah.
It's all tech support and technobabble.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I did is I went back. I completely rewrote the start of it, but I used a lot of the elements and just sort of made it into like a flashback sequence. So it actually started with the 3 scientists getting arrested, and
that sounds like one of the ideas I had for you.
Yeah, which I think I took from John. Yeah. So it started with them getting arrested and put on trial and convicted, basically, and then it did a little bit of a flashback sequence to when they discovered the monster and blah 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 blah. So, and then from that point, I just sort of went wild. I mean, it's in production right now, so yeah. So what happens is there's an alien race that sort of protects over the solar system, and they send one of their people to the moon. It crashes into the base instead of landing, and it ends up almost killing one of the characters. So it ends up merging with her, transforming her into like an alien hybrid. So after the other 2 scientists and this alien hybrid meet up, they sort of go off to find this chrysalis or whatever that these aliens put on the moon to sort of help protect them from these monsters in space. So that's pretty much where the story picks up.
Space kaiju.
Yeah, basically, it's a space kaiju. It's essentially like me wanting to like write Ultraman and
you've already begun production
yeah.
on this, haven't you?
Yeah,
or something. Yeah, like I was thinking this was just something you were writing.
Production,
this is something you're making. Are you colorist again?
Yeah.
Okay. You really like painting the
No, actually I decided I'm gonna make it in black and white. So
okay. All right.
I'm just gonna let Carlos's art be Carlos's art, and
okay.
It's not that I don't like painting.
Because in Primal Chaos you felt like it needed some subtle color which you added yourself to be like, all right, like a streak of red for blood or something to kind of draw attention away from just the raw black and whiteness. But
it had a lot of color specific plot points in it, so I felt it needed color. This one, I think it can live as black and white. It's also a much bigger book.
Okay.
Like 56 pages or something like that. So
okay.
Yeah. So I started writing the sequel because
this artist you already got your artist picked out. Carlos, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sticking with
Is that
Carlos.
Skinny's Carlos?
Yeah, he's pretty. Yeah, Skinny Carlos. Yeah.
All right, and he can do
he's
kaiju.
He's doing kind of like we decided to go with sort of like a retro futurist look to everything. So it's sort of 1960s, 50s inspired for the art. So yeah, I think it's gonna work really well. It's a little cheesy, so it kind of works with it. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So do we want to skip this prologue then?
Yeah, you can skip it.
Okay. All right.
Unless you really want to read it.
Then we will skip it. Here we are at page 1. Who shall be our narrator, Larry?
Danny's a pretty good narrator.
Danny.
Stuff,
okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Page 1.
So we've got to have
1.
Yeah.
Euro-Asian Alliance Station, Aphrodite level dark shipyard in orbit of Venus 2XXX. Okay, that was word salad. Wide shot, a massive space station made of connected rings with a central core orb structure orbits Venus. Construction of various large battleships can be seen encircling its outer ring. A lower-ranking officer addresses Admiral Jin off panel.
Admiral.
Like John, you can play petty officer. Yeah. Or
Okay.
Preston can play the petty officer.
Admiral.
Yeah, okay.
Command has sent an urgent message.
This better be good.
John, you can do. Yeah. Okay.
It has
Panel
exclamation
2.
points.
Wide shot. Admiral Jin, a Japanese man in his late 60s, who's only being described on his second appearance, of rather large stature, rises out of bed inside his quarters, wearing only boxer briefs. A young, curvaceous, tanned-skinned woman, can be seen sleeping next to where he was laying, naked and half covered by the sheet, facing away from the reader. The petty officer peeks through the doorway on the other side of the room, silhouetted by the light from the hall outside, delivering his message.
Well, let's have it.
She's not really skinned, right, Larry?
I mean, that's a kind of naked, I guess.
That would be kind of big. All right.
Bad grammar. Okay. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Tanned and skinned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. So, am I petty officer?
Color.
Who am I?
Sorry.
Yes, you're petty officer.
Yes,
yeah.
sir. Command has ordered a launch of Project Hotel effective immediately.
Panel 3, medium shot. Admiral Jin rubs his temple in frustration.
You have to be fucking joking. Half the systems are still in shakedown.
Panel 4, wide shot. The officer and Admiral continue with their conversation. The officer holds out a data pad to the Admiral.
Sorry, sir. I have the briefing. It's all in there.
Save it. Leave the briefing on the table by the door. Inform the crew to prepare for launch.
Yes, sir.
There's no page break, Larry.
Anyway.
Page 2.
There is.
Panel
Page
1.
2.
The officer sets the data pad on a small table by the door as he begins to exit the Admiral's room. The Admiral stands and begins to walk toward the small table. Panel 2. Close-up. Admiral Jin grabs the data pad off the table. Panel 3. Close-up. He turns the pad on and begins to read, the light illuminating his face in the dark of the room. Panel 4. Wide shot. The nude woman. Blah, 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 blah.
Curvy.
Stands by the door.
Pretty.
And she's Vietnamese. All right.
Wait, are there?
Yes, she is.
His back to her reading the data pad, saying nothing. How is his back reading the data pad, Larry?
Ample. Peek out. Oh, there we go. I love it. I love this. There we go. What's wrong, Toshiro?
Yeah.
There we go.
Page break is missing. Page 3, panel 1, wide shot. Saying nothing, Admiral Jin throws the data pad into the empty side of the bed in front of Naguyet. She snaps at him.
What the fuck? I just asked a question.
Panel 2, close-up. Admiral faces away from the reader, bathed in the darkness of the room. He replies to her calmly but with forceful language. I'm pretty sure Admiral's like a job title and not his first name, right?
I know. I forgot to put it in the anyway.
There you go.
Maybe it is his name. You know, some people are named Judge, and that's a job title.
That's true.
I'm Admiral Jin, bitch.
Yeah.
Shut up and read, Commander.
Yeah.
And his name's Admiral Jan. He's just a janitor, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Panel 3, close-up. Juliet grabs the data pad off the bed and snaps back at Admiral Jan.
Fine. You know, just because I let you use me like a hand puppet doesn't mean I'm going to tolerate you being an asshole.
What's up with that formatting?
Well, it looked better when I did it on screen. It just didn't translate properly into the PDF. So
just use indents.
I'm using anyway.
Panel 4, close up on Juliet's
yeah.
face, partially covered by the data pad. Her eyes grow wide with fear and disbelief as she reads.
What? What the fuck? This isn't possible.
Panel 5. Close up. Admiral Jid turns his head over his shoulder towards the reader. A glint of light strikes his eye like a spark in the darkness.
We launch in an hour. Then we ram the Mushaishi's cannons up that thing's asshole and blow slag out at the filthy maw.
No page break.
They are words. I do not know what those words mean.
Like
I can figure out that.
I know what that sentence means, and it's actually pretty good. Panel 1, wide shot.
As he said to the chesty Vietnamese woman.
Our rover speeds over. Page 4, panel 1, wide shot. The rover speeds over the rocky surface of the moon, spraying sheets of dust from the large tires. Inside the vehicle are Amano, Ling, and Ella.
We are about 70 kilometers from the base. Are you sure your clearance will get us in Ling?
Positive, but as I said, you two have to remain hidden till we are deep into the dark site.
Oh, yeah.
Panel 2, medium shot, inside the rover's driver section. Ling pilots the vehicle in the foreground, as Amano snarks at him from the passenger seat in the background. Please note, the driver's seat is on the right side.
No, that's the wrong side.
That's the wrong side.
Have to make that clear.
Yeah.
Is this like a British moon base?
Well, European, yeah.
Yeah. Ling, I swear, if you fuck us over, I'll do whatever it takes to fuck you back.
A lot of he might like that.
She might.
Dropping formality now, Dr. Jin.
A lying sack of shit like you deserves no respect. If it wasn't for Ella, I would have left you at that water station and taken a chance of getting in without you.
Panel 3. Close up. Ling snaps back, giving a stern sideways glance toward Amano.
I wish you had. I just want to see my family. I'd be with them now had I not gotten confirmation through the secure comms about the little show she gave us. Woo. Still, I wouldn't completely trust that creature. She isn't Ella Bauer.
Panel 4. Close up. Amano snaps back at Ling, visibly upset by his words.
She's not the same Ella, but she's still in there. I know it.
Panel 5. Medium shot. Ling snaps quickly back at Amano. Amano continues to fume.
That thing is the back of that thing is the back is a watcher. It absorbed Ella.
Oh,
she's dead.
In the back, sorry.
You need to understand that.
Are you done? I thought I told you to knock it off with the Watcher crap.
It's not crap, Dr. Jin. It's a fact. You need to accept that Ella is gone and that creature killed her.
Oh, look, it's not a page break. Panel 1, wide shot. Amano stands, saying nothing, his fists clenched tight. Ling looks up at him inquisitively.
Where are you going?
Panel 2, wide shot. Amano walks toward the door at the back of the driver's section of the rover and places his hand on the control panel. He still says nothing despite Ling continuing to question him.
Dr. Jin.
Panel 3, medium shot. Amano opens the door and addresses Ling without turning to face him.
I'm going to see Ellis. I'm not sitting here listening to your bullshit for another hour.
Panel 4, medium shot. Ling in the background looks away from Amano and forward towards the landscape out the window of the rover. Ling answers Amano with condescension. Amano, in the foreground, grits his teeth and says nothing in return.
Fine. Don't listen to logic. Go play with the monster. Just don't be surprised when she bites off your head.
No page break. Panel 1, wide shot. Amano enters the back cabin of the rover as the door slides closed behind him. Except for small lights on each side of the door, the cabin is dark. Ella can't be seen anywhere. He calls out to her. A faint whisper comes from the dark.
Ella, where are you?
So I guess, John, you can transition over to Ella now. Yeah.
I'm here, Amano.
Panel 2, wide shot. In the foreground, Amano peers into the dark of the cabin. Ella's glowing eyes appear in the background, floating in a sea of black.
Ooh. Why are you sitting in the dark?
I heard you two talking. Not that I tried to spy. I just hear everything now.
I'm sorry. Living seems to not like your kind, which is weird to me. Or no, Ling seems to not like your kind. I'm sorry. Different sentence, which is weird to me, since I never even knew you existed till a few hours ago. It's hard to deal with, almost impossible, really.
Panel 3, wide shot. The perspective flips. Ella stands in the foreground, back to the viewer, her silhouette still black from the lack of light. She gestures her hand towards the wall and a panel clicks on by itself. Amano, in the background, highlighted door lights, returns her question with another.
Tell me the truth.
What truth, Ella?
A page break before a page. Holy fuck.
There
I think it's entirely accidental.
I'm sure it was, considering where page 8 starts.
Yeah.
Page 7, splash page. Full page figure. The room lights flip on, revealing the fully exposed nude form of Watcher Ella looking towards the viewer.
Oh, there we go.
A depressed expression washed over her elegant face.
I love how like all the comics I'm working with just keep turning up the boobs with the successive iterations. Like more.
More. Yeah.
So Carlos is okay with doing boobs now?
I asked him, yes.
Okay.
He's like, yeah, I can do those. It's like, yeah.
Well, he's like, he needs money, so
yeah. That happens. That happens when you start to need money. You're like, yes, I don't mind drawing illicit.
Yeah, he sort of realized, he's like, yeah, I'm hiring like a lot of not safe for work artists right now, Carlos. So I think we're gonna have to ramp it up a little bit. So
yeah,
yeah.
Do you agree with Ling? Do you see me as a monster? Oh, but your pussy is, bitch.
Boom.
If I letter this, that's where the dialogue's coming from.
Probably will be too.
There you go.
Page 8, panel 1, close up. Amano blushes and looks away to the side, avoiding eye contact with Ella's exposed body.
No, you are different, a bit bigger. But I still see. No, I know you are still Ella.
Panel 2, close up. Ella blushes, rubbing her hand nervously against her other arm.
Ella loved you. I think that's the right word for it.
Panel 3, close up. Amino nervously rubs the back of head, his face turning even more red.
Loved. I always thought she just had a crush. I can't say I didn't have feelings too, but work always came first for me. Guess that ship has sailed.
Panel 4, close up. Ella's pale skin blushes purple as her expression shifts to a seductive smile, and she rubs her hand sensually over her breast.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say romance is quite off the table yet, Amano. Nothing is stopping us now. Except
Boom.
your pussy.
Yeah.
And this totally unattractive lack of page break before page 9. Panel 1, wide shot. Amano
Ella
backs
wants
off
it.
a little,
That's all I'm saying.
taken by surprise from Ella's offer as she leans towards him, licking her lips seductively.
What? Are you joking?
Do I look like I'm joking?
Ella needs it. Okay.
Is it bad that I'm just imagining the voice of HAL 9000 for all of these? Panel 2, medium shot. Amano looks bashfully toward Ella as she moves closer toward him, swaying her hips.
Oh yeah.
Because swaying her hips is something that's easy to draw in a comic.
Yeah, it's very easy to draw.
I'm going to say no, but is it even possible given your current state?
Panel 3, medium shot. Ella towers over Amano, grabbing his head and placing it firmly on her crotch just slightly off panel. Amano looks at her wide-eyed and shocked.
Oh, it's more than possible. I completely integrated and enhanced human physiology. I've been dying to try it out, too. Ella's memories were quite pleasant in that regard.
No page break. Hey, I thought this was a book about a kaiju and also space aliens.
And many things.
Boobs took over.
Well, right now it's species.
Yeah.
Yes. Page 10, panel 1, close up. Ella grabs Amano's head and leans towards him, kissing him passionately. Panel 2, close up. Ella pulls back from the kiss and smiles seductively. Amano looks up at her, flustered and blushing, breathing heavily. That's easy to draw in a comic.
Well, who am I to deny you the human experience?
Now we're going to go hentai. Yeah. I knew you just needed some.
John, when did you write this?
All right. The panel 3.
Panel 3, wide shot. Ling, still driving the rover,
Good
location
job, Ling.
change, is alerted to thumping and moaning noises coming from behind the closed door to the cabin. He rolls his eyes.
God, I hope she is killing him.
No page break before page 11.
All right.
It's just Control-Enter, Larry. It's not complicated.
Well, folks, that was Moon Baby. And it was a lot of boobs.
Like that, huh?
I certainly felt a John Lamont influence in this new direction.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily so much John. Just people I'm hanging out with lately, so
Sure. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not judging. That's fine.
No.
In fact, I'd say that's totally good. Good work, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, congratulations on the wonderful success of Moon Baby 1, which will be coming to Kickstarter
sometime.
And I'm sure with these kinds. So this is issue 2, though, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so there's no boobs in issue 1?
Oh, there is. she's
okay.
naked through like the last half of the book.
Okay, so, well, I'm remembering back to the first half of the book, and there was a lot of tech support. So
there was.
I don't think he ever presented the second half of the book.
I didn't. I just wrote it, and I was
so
like,
issue one of Boom Baby is like tech support followed by boobs.
Yeah. Once I started going,
you got to do them at the same time.
Yeah.
That's how you get it to be interesting.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like if you reverse it and we started with boobs and we went to tech support, you would hold more.
Yeah.
Well, if you start with tech support, then all right.
Well,
or you do, or you have them be naked while doing tech support.
Yeah.
They could have gone that route too. So.
All right. No, well,
once I got started, I just sort of went and.
I felt like the sex was really like hard to miss in these pages, and more or less was the main reason for the plot and the story of the particular pages that were presented.
Yeah.
I am a fan of boobs and romance. There wasn't much romance. There was just like a carnal act of get over here and do things, and why not? We had a chesty Vietnamese chick, so there we go. All right, Danny, what do you got?
I'm really glad that, although I was misled, I've now figured out this is really a story about the kaiju that is going to be the child of these two lovers that is conceived on the moon. So now I understand the name of your book, and I'm really happy about that. And also, yeah, that's about it.
John,
I can't wait to bring more pages for this.
So, what does John Lamont think of what would seem to me to be a John Lamont script? What do you got?
Hey, you had a sexy naked Asian lady. I'm sold.
Exactly.
Oh, geez. All right.
And any other positive thoughts you want to share?
You mean besides sexy naked Asian ladies?
All right, constructive. What do we got?
There's not enough sexy naked Asian ladies.
Yeah, I feel like the sexy naked Asian lady certainly dominates these pages. I don't know much else that's really going on. Nothing.
The alien dominates. The sexy alien is not the sexy Asian lady.
There's a sexy alien in here.
Yeah,
that was the one at the end. Ella, the one that was seducing the dude. Yeah. That was the alien.
Oh, she's an
alien.
The
Asian lady was first she was skinless and then she was sexy.
Yeah. Okay,
that was your location.
All right, but so you're saying the Asian lady is actually an alien?
No. The Asian lady was the military subordinate who was fucking her boss.
Okay.
Yeah.
The alien was the one in the cabin with the pale skin that turned purple that I was making the reference to Species because she's seducing the human character.
Oh, I missed that. Okay, so now
which Danny pointed out means that she's probably going to get pregnant again, like Species, and that's who the moon baby's going to be.
I feel Species was a good movie.
It was.
I think so.
The first one was pretty decent.
Yeah, I didn't see any of the sequels.
I don't remember any
pretty bad
sequels either.
Yeah, I mean,
well, actually, the second one wasn't.
I watched recently, within like the last month, I watched a movie called Life Force, which I don't know if you've ever seen.
Yeah,
the one with the space vampires.
Yeah, the space vampires. And
I thought it was cool.
And the thing, one of my inspirations.
Yeah, and that movie is bad. And the thing is, that movie
naked the entire movie.
Yeah, yes, it's bad, but naked. So
yeah,
it's like an absolute 10 if you want to watch a movie that is just tits and ass. So awesome. But it's less than that if you want like some compelling plot. And I was expecting, I mean, like, look, by this point, Life Force has a reputation, but I'm sitting here watching the opening credits of what to me is just a titty space vampire movie, and I'm going, Toby Hooper directed this? That's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy. And then I'm going, this was written by Dan O'Bannon. Like, I, as a writer, am a direct disciple of Dan O'Bannon's school of writing. I read his book on screenplay structure, and I think it was certainly very helpful in formulating White Lily. And when I'm asking about the conflict, that comes from Dan O'Bannon. So And in watching the movie, like, it opens like a Dan O'Bannon thing. Oh, hey, there's an alien ship. Hold on, everybody. We have to go inside the alien ship and we have to explore what's that alien thing. I don't know. I want to put my face right next to it. Like there's certainly a lot of except instead of like Giger eggs, it was boobs. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. We'll see where this goes. But then Act 2 of that thing, like, clearly O'Bannon didn't write that. Like, we're just wandering around following this guy, as I said to like person I was watching with. This feels like Simon Says, because at this point we have like one expert who can kind of feel the life force alien, and he's just wandering through the movie making pronouncements like, oh yeah, that you have to do that to solve that problem, and oh there, yeah, like the movie becomes Simon Says, and I'm like, this is weird. Like totally detached from any like overarching plot that's trying to connect like the beginning to the end. And I think the failings of Life Force were very clear from the writing, and I find that surprising because the writing came from Dan O'Bannon, although Toby Hooper had to have meddled with that a great deal. But anyway, coming back to this story, it feels, I'm certainly getting some Life Force vibes, but Life Force could have been way better. So yeah. Here's to a way better Life Force. There we go.
Yeah. The story shifts pretty heavily after this point. I was just trying to bring some lightheartedness into the beginning of it. So
okay, what happens next? Next, like Godzilla kills everyone on the moon?
I mean, he already the monster from the first book already went and basically nuked Mars. Okay. At the end of the first book. So all right. That's kind of where it ends off.
Was there anything important on Mars?
Yeah, was there anything important on Mars?
A human colony with like millions of people in it.
Oh, sure. Millions of people? How do we get millions of
that
people
sounds like
Mars?
that would be interesting pages to bring to the writer's stream, Larry.
Well, that was the first book. Sorry, I'm not reading.
Those pages I think that would be interesting pages to bring to the writer's stream, Larry.
I just went I'm sorry, I wasn't there, but
I know you weren't here. That was my point.
Yeah.
So my thought would be is, if you're writing a kaiju story, this doesn't feel like a kaiju story.
No, I'm not.
And I know you don't really care about PC stuff, but I'm not personally a fan of, the whole boss underling sex thing. I mean, unless they're in a relationship that's like a romantic relationship, which these two characters clearly are not. So, I mean, then I'd be okay with it, but I don't know. That's it could be all the years of management training and sensitivity training that I've gone through in corporate America. But that kind of it's just.
Well, I understand what you're saying, but it was kind of to set them up as sort of asshole characters, so it works towards them. So.
Well, I didn't really see her being. I mean, besides them basically, being curt with each other, which I guess if that's the relationship, the romantic relationship that they have, is that they're constantly cutting each other down. But again, I didn't really feel like when he called her commander, I was like, oh, he's banging a subordinate, and then he's kind of pushing her around, and I didn't really see her pushing back, and I didn't really see it being an equal thing. It seemed very one-sided in that relationship.
You picked up good then, yeah.
I mean, if that's what you're going for, then congratulations.
That's what I'm going for, yeah. Amano's dad's kind of an asshole, so I just wanted to bring it home right at the beginning. So, yeah.
I would have been really happy if that sex scene wasn't written to be full of dialogue given by robots. Which actually does remind me of Species.
There you go.
I can jazz it up a bit. It's just a draft.
There was no character in it whatsoever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that was like most of what we read. And there was some interesting conflict that was, I guess, being recapped in the Dune buggy with the people and the talking. And you just kind of threw it out for like, let's have an awkward sex scene here.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, if you want to do a porn comic, just do a porn comic, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is no John Lamont script.
Well, no, I'm just making something goofy. That's all. So
you can do goofy in a porn comic. They do really, really well.
Yeah. But anyway, no, it was just to bring because it's pretty much near action from that point on. I just wanted to throw a bunch of relationship stuff in the beginning, see what happens, and boobs.
Yeah. I mean, the problem is once you have that alien sex scene, you have to have a creepy alien baby, and then you're gonna have the alien baby kaiju versus the other kaiju. Like, do you really want to go there?
No, there's no
Maybe
alien
the guy
baby.
Could be like, I'm sorry.
Although there are going to be a lot.
I don't want to have sex with a meat puppet version of my friend who I like.
There are going to be a lot of really funny dick jokes later, but anyway, yeah. So you can look forward to those.
Danny, I have a feeling that Larry's going to just do whatever he wants.
Oh, he will.
Pretty much. That's basically the idea for this comic. So.
But yeah, the reason
why are you presenting it though? If you're not going to be taking our feedback,
I'm sure he gets.
I am taking your feedback.
He makes some changes. I'm sure he makes some changes. But the reason I reference Life Force is because I really sat down and I started thinking like, okay, like how would I fix this broken story? And the story I came up with, I realized was Species. So in my opinion, like Species is like
the superior life force.
Yeah, superior life force.
Yeah, it is. So yeah. You know. Yeah. Oh.
All right. So we have harpies. John, tell us about.
I was looking at the top of the screen. I thought it said herpes.
That too. John, tell us about harpies.
You did, Larry.
So this is the rewrite of it. So I'm pretty happy with issue 2, depending on how this is the beginning of issue 3. So some of this kind of bleeds into the end of issue 2. So if I feel like this works, then issue 2 is pretty much in the can. But this is the beginning of issue 3. So they are still in Egypt where the Nazis appeared and Jezidro appeared. And all hell broke loose, and the pyramid got blown up, and a spaceship flew out from underneath the pyramid, and then crash landed in the desert about a couple yards away. And Aaron went to investigate the spaceship, while Jezidro and Longfu are basically fighting Nazis.
Sweet.
Wait a minute. There's a spaceship?
Yes, a spaceship. Yeah. It was buried underneath the pyramid. And when the pyramid got blown up, the spaceship came up, and it was a faster way of getting them into the spaceship by just having the spaceship appear, because we spent half an issue of them going through the pyramid to getting into the spaceship, and I just felt like that wasn't working. So my solution to that was just blow up the whole pyramid and have the spaceship fly out and then crash, and then they go into it.
Okay.
Preston, you can narrate.
Aaron's flashlight pierces the darkness that fills the spaceship bridge.
Danny, why don't you do...
Anyone still alive?
He's already doing it.
The silhouette of the spaceship captain looms large as she approaches.
Hello?
Stepping closer, the beam of her flashlight illuminates the very dead alien captain, a large grayish figure with huge eyes sitting in the captain's chair, hands on the controls.
Oh, you look like you've been dead a while. So who was flying?
Larry, you can take over the other person. The computerized voice.
Language synthesis complete.
Aaron whirls around looking for the source of the voice.
Portable module fabrication complete.
Who said that?
Activating portable module.
Hello.
Her words are cut off by a hissing sound of steam releasing from a side door. Smoke billows out, revealing a silhouette of the humanoid form, with beneath it. Erin turns her flashlight to the new opening. A shadow rises from inside. A metal boot clangs as it exits the chamber. Rising from the boots are slender metal legs, gears spinning in the knee joints. On the chest, the designation TKMKO illuminates in green. Its humanoid head blends human, female, and cat-like figures.
Oh, fuck yeah, man. You got a robot cat girl? I'm all about this. Yeah.
Meow.
Meow.
Larry, you could be Technico.
Erin's eyes go wide with surprise.
Yeah.
What the?
Suddenly, Technico lunges for Erin, grabbing her by the throat and pinning her to the wall.
Who are you? Speak before I terminate your existence.
Lieutenant Erin Rice, British Army Intelligence. I was hoping you could help me.
You opened fire on my starship.
Not us, the Liebstandarte Corps, a special occult division of the German Nazi Party.
Awesome. Yeah. This term, Nazi, has no equivalency in my language dictionary.
Consider yourself lucky.
Technico releases Erin, stepping back.
Your starship. It's his weapon systems. I need to know.
Negative. Mission parameters is 0 engagement with Terran life form.
Well, you already failed.
Our enemies are using Magitech to advance their tyranny across the globe.
Technico turns, facing the dead captain.
Mission priority is the exploration of new worlds and documentation of new civilizations.
This is Star Trek, bitch.
People.
It's fucking Star Trek. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Erin attempts to get the Clockwork Golem to empathize with her.
So you would sit back and watch a genocide.
Do you take sides when one ant colony invades another?
We do if threatens extinction of the species.
And is your species threatened, bitch?
This is a little more. In some ways, this is very cliche. This is like the Next Generation Prime Directive, but it's Tarantino, and you've never heard Tarantino do the Next Generation Prime Directive discussion, right?
Almost did, though. Yeah, that's the funniest part about it.
Yeah. Genocide, motherfucker. Do you speak it? Exterior Pyramid Plaza Day. Jezebel raises her hand toward Orion.
Be safe.
Several small darts of red chaos magic fly from Jezebel's hand towards Orion. Orion flips through the air, firing her 2 arrows simultaneously. One lets out a high-pitched screech, causing Jezebel to recoil backwards as the other pierces her through the stomach. Jezebel drops to her knees, crying out in pain as the arrow lodges clean through her abdomen, sticking out her back, blood spilling onto the ground.
Now you're starting to piss me off.
Orion draws another arrow, closing in for the kill as several of the Elmechs surround her. Jezebel snaps the arrow in half, pulling it from her body front and back to avoid additional damage.
Larry.
Now you die.
Okay.
Larry, you can do Long Fu and Chi.
Sure. Yeah, I'll do Long Fu.
Who's Jezebel?
I am Kavazada.
A wave of red chaos magic radiates from Jezebel, hitting the Elmechs pilots, causing their bodies to explode into bloody chunks. When it hits Orion, it shreds her clothes. Well, there you go. Sending her body flying back several dozen yards, crashing into the desert. Longfu sits, wiping the drool from her chin, shaking the disorientation with her head.
What did I miss?
Exterior HMS Duke of Cambridge, North Sea day. The HMS Duke of Cambridge, a massive Queen Elizabeth aircraft carrier, cuts through the center of the North Sea, surrounded by 3 country-class battle cruisers. Artists note the HMS Prince of Wales is photo reference caption HMS Duke of Cambridge. HMS Duke of Cambridge deck day. Erin stands on the deck of the ship as Raj walks up beside her.
I reported the necromancer's demands to my chain of command.
From your tone,
the sun never sets in the British Empire, was King George's reply.
One pissed off novice witch fucks up a spell and nearly 1,000 people are killed. Imagine what a dozen adept witches can do.
Oh, yeah.
Take off your clothes. No.
Internal HMS Duke of Cambridge showers. There, we're going to the exciting place.
I was right. Yeah.
Longfu leans over, poking Jezidro's scar on her stomach where Orion's arrow pierced her. I don't know
Larry?
Longfu.
Okay, yeah, sorry, yeah. Wow, you heal pretty fast. Yeah.
I can control and manipulate life force energy.
I got shot once, but I don't have any scars.
Longfu spins around, showing her bare back.
See, good as new.
Is that how you became the Avatar?
I guess Aaron says the trauma caused me to have near-death experiences, but I came back with superpowers, so who knows?
What was it like meeting the gods?
Warm. It was I was in peaceful meditation. I could have stayed in that garden forever, but I guess I was needed here. Mm-hmm.
Internal Duke of Cambridge briefing room day. Aaron and Raj enter the briefing room where Technico draws a diagram of a radio telescope along the calculations of the blackboard. The captain and the radio engineer stand by, wearing blank expressions.
Lieutenant, I think your golem is malfunctioning. The calculations make no sense.
You have technology to send audio signals through the air?
To a ship across the sea, you're talking about sending a signal light years into space.
Thank you, Captain. I'll take it from here.
The captain, his radio technician exit. Technico turns frustrated.
Mathematics is not that complicated. The equations work regardless of the range.
I understand this is important, but we have more pressing matters.
My captain tasked me with sending this final report back to Star Command. Mission priorities require...
I believe the Americans are working on similar technologies as these. Would you allow me to send them? I'm sure we can someone who can build your device.
Thank you, Colonel.
In the meantime, please assist Erin as best you can. She is MI6's resident expert on the Hecate stone.
As much as one can be and expect in a rock of unknown origin, it defies the laws of physics.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I didn't write it.
That's right. Interior Hecate Biolab experimental chamber windowless. Orion bolts awake on the examination table, startling the doctor. She leaps off the table, grabbing the scalpel, getting in the doctor's face.
I warned you.
Orion.
Turning, Orion spots Mueller standing by the door.
That witch.
You were not to say that.
He cast some kind of spell.
Get some rest. We must prepare before our next encounter.
Mueller exits. The doctor eyes Orion's body up and down lustfully.
Let me help you with your...
The Orion kicks the doctor, sending him flying comically across the room. and crashing into a selving unit.
Ow.
Who's Orion?
Keep your hands and your eyes off me.
Orion leaves in a huff, grabbing a lab coat off a hook by the door on her way out.
I do as your mule tells me, not you.
Once alone, the doctor retrieves a pair of tattered panties from his drawer, taking a long with sniff. There we go.
Well, I guess I get the Larry seal of approval on this.
Yeah, absolutely. Panty sniffing.
That
awesome.
is funny.
So good.
Yeah, I only got up to 7 pages, and then I decided to take a break. I wanted to see what your feedback was before I tried to.
All right. Well, I love the open embrace of just panty sniffing fetish, and like playing up the brown sugar aspect of Jazzadrell. So I'm a big fan.
Brown sugar?
Yeah. The Negro sorcerers.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not going to use the other N word, so I thought I would use this one.
And I appreciate
it
as a connoisseur,
Yeah.
Right.
You're not going to embrace the who is it?
The Tarantino? No, I'm not doing.
No.
I'm not doing a Tarantino.
Yeah. But look, I mean, these pages. Let's see, we got aliens and brown boobs, and and that's what we got. Larry, what do you think?
It's batshit crazy in every good way.
Okay.
So it's hitting the mark, I think, for the exploitation type story, if you will. If that's what you're going for, John, I don't know, but I'm assuming it's
totally going for that.
I'm going for batshit crazy is what I'm going for.
Yeah. So you're doing good. When you had like Technico, which just means like cat with technology, I thought that was a pretty good name too. So that's good. No, I think you're going in the right direction. I think adding a robotic cat lady to your story is definitely going to bring in a different crowd, which you might like because they spend a lot of money. So yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing Emerald Weapon do a cover of her.
Yeah, for sure,
I think
man.
she's gonna. Yeah, I think that's gonna do really, really well.
Yeah. Yeah, cat girls are great. So.
Danny.
There was a robot cat girl, and I miss her.
Okay, there we go.
Well, I had to bring her back. I just had to move her to issue 3. That's all.
All right, constructives. Anybody got any? I mean, I don't know that I really got many constructives. It's got the boobs. It's got the alien technology. I mean, like, look, if you want to stand back and just look at it from 50,000 feet, these pages had boobs and aliens. I'm sure it should sell, right?
And magic and Nazis.
Yeah,
and
boobs, aliens, and magic. I'm sure it
yeah.
should sell. You do great. It's good work.
You just need dinosaurs in there too.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Yeah, so one element you're missing is the T-Rex. Right?
I have
with
one.
machine gun.
I just haven't gotten there yet. No. There is going to be a zombie T-Rex.
Okay.
I just haven't gotten there yet.
All right, I accept.
Right,
yeah.
There we go. Danny probably has something.
Yeah, these pages were terribly disjointed.
There we go.
I did notice that when I wrote them. I was unsure how I wanted to do my location.
And the robot cat girl is boring. And then everyone teleports to a warship that wasn't there previously. And then the robot cat girl is boring again. And then
you should get you should add little meows and stuff in after a dialogue, just because like...
There's as many cool scenes as you want, but it's not a story. And then you made the cat girl boring.
Well, to be fair, it's better than anything that I've seen Mulvey write.
So how can I make the cat girl less boring besides adding meows to her dialogue?
Yeah,
I mean, by getting over this Ichi phone home thing as quickly as possible and actually having her assist, it
Okay,
and
so
be
that's
convinced to assist in the fight against the like evil genocidal army that our putative heroes actually care about.
okay. So I guess I'll. So I had one. Okay.
Okay.
You did a fine job of this when you introduced the cat girl the first time.
And then I also spent like 5 pages introducing her, and you guys seemed to think that was taking too long, so I kind of condensed it.
As we all said that we liked the cat girl and wanted more of her because she improved the dynamic drastically.
So
like, get to
hard.
that.
So hard sometimes.
So I do have one thought. So right now I kind of wrote the aliens and the cat girl as kind of pacifists, which adds a dynamic to how they would approach the world and what's going on. But I also was wondering if, and maybe this would be more interesting, but it would also could complicate things, is actually make them like they were like advanced scouts for an invasion party that got trapped, and then her wanting to phone home is basically saying, okay, launch the invasion, and she's trying to basically hide that from everybody else. But I don't know if that would work.
I mean, I've got an idea. How about you don't overcomplicate it and have her be like, E.T. phone home. Oh shit, my radio crystal is gone. These terrible people have the radio crystal. Oh look, it's the Hecate stone. I need it. And then she like goes on, kills the Nazis, gets the entire party together, and like there's not enough crystals. They have to go on an adventure across the world to go find more, killing Nazis as they go. I mean, you don't need a complicated setup here.
She just came for the fish, so.
Like, she needs to come home, and then someone stole all of her batteries, and she's going to fuck them up. She's going to fuck up as many people as she has to get batteries.
She's
so
going to
can
fuck
phone
them
out.
already, yeah.
Except, as she gets more batteries, she gets better at fucking shit up because she's also made of robot. And then you can just give her fucking, like, tit lasers or whatever later on.
There you go. Yeah.
And like, so you're really overthinking this, John. Like...
So,
you're not pulp enough. And
so basically you wanted to give her like the Hawk Girl storyline.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't see a problem with that. Like just get to
it's a good
Nazi mech murdering adventure and get on with your life. And then turn Orion into Skeletor like she deserves to be. Because, like, aside from the panty sniffing, that scene was also boring.
Oh, man. Harsh.
Yeah.
Like, it was fine. It was a one-page scene. I could live with that. But, like, she just needs to, like, yell at her underlings and be like, damn you, He-Man, I'll get you next time. Like, this is the level that we're at, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you're not embracing it enough. Like, you shouldn't have to introduce this character as late as issue 3, and I do see that you're doing some, like, proper world building, and, like, you're getting there, and that's fine, but, like, how many issues is this whole story going to be? Like, 8? 8's a lot. And if it's any less than 8, 3 is really late to introduce a major character.
It's probably going to be 7 or 8, yeah.
Right? So, fine, you're at 7 or 8. This is a fine time to introduce Robot Neko. But then you have, like, the entire next issue needs to be fucking up some Nazis and finding out there's, like, a Hollow Earth or whatever the hell you're doing.
Yeah, I'm still not sure if I'm doing the Hollow Earth thing or not.
I don't know if you
Well, how are you going to have them fight a T-Rex if you don't?
You don't. It's a zombie. Yeah.
It's a zombie T-Rex.
Dead.
Yeah, fine. I read that episode. I read that.
It was never supposed to be a live T-Rex.
Whatever.
Just going to animate a zombie T-Rex.
Like
you still have to like lead up to all that shit, and then you still have to have like another half of the next issue have like be like Skeletor being angry that all of his plans are being foiled, and then developing an evil super weapon. And then your last issue is like, oh, look, the last piece of the Hecate Stone, Skeletor has it. Let's go fuck her up. Oh no, Skeletor has a super weapon. And then you have a cliffhanger involving the super weapon. And that's your 8th issue. So, like, you are stuck in a format now, basically.
Yeah.
And you didn't give yourself enough breathing room to deal with the fact that you also have witches and a god in your story.
What?
And you definitely don't have breathing room for, like, Raj, another battleship, and a panty-sniffing doctor, unless he's always going to be there, at which point that's funny.
Yeah. Sniffing panties, yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was a funny joke, but
like you're just stuck with a really tight format now. If you don't have like Robo Neko, like at least like reduce the amount of technobabble before she starts contributing.
Technobabble? How much? There was like the one scene and
the entire scene with her on the battleship.
Oh, the radio.
Yeah, that's
stuff,
the scene I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And the scene where she's introduced. Which is like, that scene was sort of fine. But like, yes, I will help ET phone home. Oh no, did you steal my battery? Oh no, those guys stole your battery. Hold my beer, I'm gonna go fuck them up and get my battery. Like,
there you go.
You got like 3 pages for that. Plus like a big splash page of Robo Neko wrecking shit. So that's like 5 pages right there. Yeah. Which means like, you know, you do run out of space really quickly. In a comic sometimes.
Yeah.
Like in a way where you wouldn't in a film. So like, the good news is if you're sticking with the structure, I mean, you got a good story and it basically writes itself. And the locations are going to do most of the work for you. So that's good. And you can have characters like banter while they're fighting things. And that's like a perfectly fine structure, but you actually need to write that. But you're sort of locked into it. So like, because this is issue 3, this is the only issue where you have a lot of room to like really introduce a character and the dynamic and like set everything up. And I'm just worried that it might be really quite tight if you have a lot of other side plots going on, because your main plot is actually like it's a lot.
All right.
There
you go, John. Danny
has
some constructors for you. I look forward to alien boobs on T-Rexes. And I mean, certainly after the performance,
will the T-Rex give birth to the moon baby?
Possibly, but certainly after the performance of your latest Kickstarter, there's going to be more boobs in the future on the cover of many John Lamont storylines. So I look forward to this one.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it'll do great.
Yeah. All right. Those are all the scripts we got. Larry, it was so nice to have you.
Yeah. I'll try to get back more often.
Absolutely. You know, look, I wish you a lot of success. And then, you know, more than that, I'm going to help you be a success when you launch comics this year. I'm looking forward to Moon Baby.
Well,
I just lettered some pages with one of your characters.
I was going to say, I'm building the campaign for Primal Chaos 4 or 3. Sorry, 4's in production. Sorry. Yeah,
and Viviax is a very marketable figure.
She's got like 5 covers. So
so she's good.
There's 10 alternate covers this time. I went a little crazy.
There you go. Yeah.
And there's some nudie covers, which is great.
Those tend to sell. Yeah. Those tend to sell. So
I just got to put some black bars on them. So.
Yep. All right, everybody. Well, hopefully we'll have some scripts next week, and I look forward to watching these projects as they come in.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome. All right. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Night, everybody.